to you by
youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
It is the 21st of September 2025 and this is News Tonight at 8. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango and Mugalu Mohammed is already here with us on sign language. Now straight away into the bulletin, President Yoweri Museveni has donated 10.2 billion seed capital to boda industry in Kampala metropolitan boda SACCOs. Addressing the boda operators at Kololo ceremonial grounds, President Museveni says the package will lower the costs of acquiring motorbikes and improve on livelihood.
The boda industry has this Sunday again convened at Kololo ceremonial grounds in Kampala to interact with the President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni.
Ningesooka kusabira mukama waffe His Excellency President abeerenga atwongera maaso okutukulembera kubanga otukulembedde bulungi. President, tusaba Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala akuyise mukabbiikano kano ketugenda mu mirembe. The
President was in company of ministers, religious leaders, KCCA officials, among others.
Hajati Kabanda oye, LC3 councillors oye. Tusiimye nnyo kubanga oyagadde abaana bo batabani bo ne bawala ba boda.
Your Excellency kijja kujjukirwa nti boda enereeta contribution in the economy yaffe.
This time round, the President has reconvened the boda operators in Kampala Metropolitan to unveil a shilling 10.2 billion package to the industry.
Ffe tuli wano kuba President waffe yalagira tulembeke era y'ensonga lwaki tukyaliwo.
14 years ago,
emyaka 14 mabega,
we put money in those circles you are talking about. But money disappeared. Now we are starting again. I have put in your circle 10 billion shillings today.
The industry leaders are thankful to the President for the previous interventions which have elevated their operations.
Omulimu gwaffe guno gubadde gulekeddwa nnyo emabega ne tukozesebwa bannakigwanyizi ne batusigamu entalo n'ekigendererwa ekyokutukyaya gavumenti.
With now the new package, the boda sector said this is a game changer. The President, however, emphasizes proper utilization of this donation.
This money is not for paying money lenders because paying the money lender,
kubanga bw'osasula omunyuunyuusi,
you are stealing our money. Therefore, don't use my money to pay those people.
According to the President, boda operators are now free to access loans and pay back within a space period of 1 year at much lower interests.
The money pays for the value of the motorcycle the way it is. And the money should be paid after 1 year, paid to the circle. This is now your money forever.
Museveni has on a tough note vowed to initiate investigations into the previous donations to the boda industry in Kampala Metropolitan.
So I am going to put all this in writing. And anybody who plays around, I will go for him. And I want to know what happened to the other money, because you would not be having this problem all this time.
Ekibuuzo nkizeemu nti essente ezo zibadde zitukira mu ngalo z'abatali mu mulimu gwaffe ababadde babeera mu makati gaffe ne gavumenti.
Robert Nyango, your BC News.
Now, the Electoral Commission has confirmed that 2 presidential aspirants have met a criteria for the next step of the nominations. The Electoral Commission spokesperson Julia Mchunguzi says that President Museveni and Nandala Mafabi have fulfilled all requirements. He says the preparations at the nomination grounds are in final stages to ensure a smooth process.
The commission, the chairperson of the commission, Justice Mugi Simon, informed the country on Friday at the venue in Zarubowa, where nominations for presidential candidates is going to take place. The place is now having final touches. The various members of the National Organizing Committee for presidential candidates nominations are on the site doing the final touches on decorations, on setup, on sound, on everything that needs to be in the place. So in terms of preparation of the venue, we can say without any fear of contradiction that we are very much set. In terms of the guests that we expect, the main guests are the candidates. Not candidates actually, but aspirants, because they come as aspirants and become candidates after they have gone through the process. As of this morning on Sunday, the Commission had informed 32 out of 38 aspirants who brought those signatures, telling them about the status of their submissions, how many have been successful in terms of reaching the threshold of the numbers, and how many have not, and what the gaps are. 2 candidates had the full numbers. Aspirant Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, because the person is an aspirant until they have been nominated to be candidates. So, and the aspirant Nandala Mafabi. The rest of the others are at different levels of certification of the numbers that are required in the law. And each one of those 32 has been given a report showing how many signatures have been verified. But as far as I know, the first batch of responses were given out on Friday evening, and the others were given feedback yesterday, and more feedback is being received today. But I can tell you that each of the aspirants who has received notification from the Commission has attached to their notification details of where the gaps were and the extent of the gaps.
Sorry about the technical glitch. As we continue, university and other higher institutions of learning, student leaders of the NRM chapter have launched a task force to mobilize students for NRM candidate President Museveni ahead of the 2026 general elections. The students outlined the achievements of the NRM, and President Museveni says it's the reason they will mobilize for him come 2026.
Student leaders, current and former, across all universities and institutions of higher education camped at NRM head offices at Plot 10, Chadondo Road in Kampala, to launch a task force to mobilize votes for President Museveni. The student leaders pointed out issues like free education, peace and security as a reason to support NRM and President Museveni.
It is the peace we have that enables us to study peace-free, to trade, to do all activities in the country. Trust me, without peace, like we see in other countries, we wouldn't have the economy thrive. Therefore, we congratulate him upon the development we have had, and we are still hopeful that we shall develop them more.
Thank God for giving him such a long life, and we pray that God can always keep him so that he takes this country where he wants to take it. We pledge our full support as young people. We pledge our full support as university leaders. We pledge our full support as NRM diehards and those who love and subscribe to the ideology of NRM.
Meanwhile, others talk about good infrastructure, women and youth empowerment.
It is in his leadership that Kenyans can come to Uganda, Rwanda can trade in Uganda, Uganda can trade in Rwanda. That is a spirit of Pan-Africanism. It is in his leadership that women have been empowered. It is in his leadership that youth have been empowered. As institution leaders, we want to invite the public to join hands, and we endorse His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for another 5 years.
You tell your neighbors, tell all students, everyone, wherever you are in your capacities, you come and join us, and we rally behind our president, and we take him for the nominations. We shall be at Kololo.
The NRM Director for Youth and Institutions, Major Rwaboni Okwiri, welcomed the idea by the students and say they must train to become great leaders.
Please don't take this lightly. What you're doing is very, very, very serious. President Museveni started as a student leader here in Uganda and also at Dar es Salaam University. And he led students to Mozambique with Frelimo to start this struggle. So we put a lot of attention on you. We have a lot of confidence in you that you are going to manage our big shoes. NRM has very big shoes. So if you want to step in our shoes, you should be prepared to learn, you should be committed, and you should be ready for sacrifice.
Philippa Guta for UBC News in Kampala.
And looking at NUP defectors, more than 500 National Unity Platform members in Kampala have defected to the National Resistance Movement Party with the pledge to support and mobilize support for President Museveni ahead of the 2026 general elections.
National Unit Platform members in the divisions of Kampala and Wakiso gathered at the NRM party EC head offices in Kampala. Rant denounced the opposition political party NUP. Glad in white and red, the NUP T-shirts, they surrendered the attires and were later dressed in NRM colors. The defectors were treated to different NRM music tunes that the heavy downpour could not stop them from dancing. The defectors, led by their leaders in the divisions, say they are tired of propaganda and lies of the opposition.
Tugoye propaganda. Ewaffe gyenva twagala kwekulaakulanya eki balokose kadi yange yeno era eriko amannya gange gennyini agawaswalo takome Juma n'abakulembeze ba NUP ababavubuka n'abali ku lukiiko bonna nazze nabo n'abantu abasuubuzi nabo bano abakulembeze b'abamakanika nenga nabo waliwo n'abasuubuzi ab'ekibuya abadde basuubula engoye.
NRM Secretary General Richard Todong welcomed the defectors into the NRM party.
I want you to be different now that you have come to NRM.
Ayagala mubere banjawulo katinga muze mu NRM.
Just to show those who are still there that NRM is where to belong.
Okulaga abasigaddeyo nti kino kye kifo we musaanidde okubeera buli omu asaanidde okubeera.
For those your friends who are still not yet here,
bannammwe abo abatannaba kujja,
tell them to come to NRM.
Mubagambe bajje mu kibiina kye NRM.
Because what we are going to start with you, if they miss, they will not recover.
Nti ku kye tugenda okutandika na
Todong urged them to turn up in big numbers during President Museveni's nomination rally on Tuesday.
We are going to work with you in your various groups.
Tugenda kola nammwe mu bibinja byammwe ebyenjawulo.
I want you to come for the president's nomination on Tuesday.
Mujje ku Lwokubiri nga president yeewandiisa.
I will present you officially to the president.
Era ajja kubalaga.
Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Now, politicians have been urged to maintain peace and stay calm amid the ongoing political season. This message was delivered by the lead pastor of Bethel Healing International Prayer Center, Irene Manjeri, during a special prayer in which she placed the nation in God's hands amid preparations.
Forget the usual trips.
Arrangements for the second edition of the pilgrimage to Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere's ancestral home in Butiama, Mara region, Tanzania have started. This time, Africa Mashariki Festive Group CEO Dr. Ronex Chisembo Tendo says the pilgrims will depart from Makara University for Tanzania on Friday, September 26th.
The second edition of Twendezetu Butiama pilgrimage safari.
As the Electoral Commission of Uganda prepares to nominate candidates for the 2026 presidential elections, religious leaders are praying for God's intercession. Pastor Irene Manjeri of Bethel Healing Prayer Center International Church has led national prayers and urged Ugandans and politicians to maintain peace during this election season.
Lord, I pray that as we get ready for these elections, let there be peace. The Bible says that Jesus, you are the Prince of Peace. Safe elections.
Manjeri urged Ugandans to vote wisely and called on parents to educate their children for a better future.
We honor and respect His Excellency, the President of Uganda, President Yoweri Museveni, kubanga yatuwa freedom of worship. May he live long. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
The special prayer service was attended by visiting pastors from other churches. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
The National Unity Platform Electoral Management Committee has finalized the vetting process of the parliamentary candidates for all regions. The candidates will carry no party flag in 2026 general elections.
NUP candidates from Busoga and Greater Luero regions gathered at the party headquarters in Makere Kavule to undergo their final vetting.
Once I have been vetted, it was a smooth process, and I'm out. I hope I'll be successful so that I become the flag bearer for the National Unity Platform for the position of Woman MP Luero District.
I believe that the vetting process was very simple because the question is all I was asked, I was able to answer them. And I assure you that, inshallah, I'm going to come back as the flag bearer of NUP.
I've seen the process is very, very, very good, and really it favors a very bright man like me to go through, because they only ask sensible questions that can bring a good and articulative leader.
Narubanga Hanifa, eyeing Iganga Municipality, and Kaita Kofu Rogers Lutaya of Luka North pledged to serve their people diligently.
As a leader, you must be asked the reason as why you come out to lead your people, as why you think you're the best candidate to lead your people. And it also examines you on the duties to be a member of parliament. And I do take myself as the best candidate because I've been into the party for quite a while. I'm a product of institutional politics. I've been trained by National Unity Platform right away from the institutional politics when I was still at Chambogo. I stood as the first female leader to represent the private students.
A servant to my people. Secondly, I've tried to make a difference in my district. I've given out several things out. I've given out services like footballs. I've participated in so many activities.
In a statement, the NUP Electoral Management Committee confirmed that the nomination of MPs had been successfully completed.
This is the last day of the vetting process, the official vetting process. But like we had communicated earlier on, whoever has missed the process and had done a formal communication will be vetted tomorrow. We make sure as long as somebody has made a formal communication, you will be vetted anywhere. Like I told you, these people have to be vetted.
The committee further assured the public that every aspirant was given a fair chance, including those in prison, such as Waiswa Mufumbiro, who was vetted online.
We do it online, like we did it in prison for our brother Waiswa and others also whose lawyers had made communications that they wanted to be vetted in prisons. We are vetting them, doing everything possible to make sure that we come up with the best candidates. A person who can articulate very well in parliament, who can legislate, at the same time, who is loved by the people in their electoral areas.
The Busoga delegation also entertained party supporters with drumming and dancing, vowing to escort their president, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, to the Electoral Commission on Tuesday for nomination.
People power. Our power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Everywhere. Oluna kuongo okubiri. Okukosa olw'enkyo ng'ondala omanjeri wako biffe tuliisula muno. Tujja kusula muno, tujja kampinga muno. Woyo.
On Tuesday, we are nominating our president. So I call upon everybody to come and welcome and escort our president as he's coming from the nominations day.
Jamil Sekaja compiled this report for UBC News.
And for the former aspirants, every presidential election held in Uganda must have a loser and a winner, and that's what defines democracy. Where one man is entitled to one vote, it is a doctrine of democracy that it's not about to end unless if Article 1 of the 1995 Constitution that gives the power to the people to elect leaders of their choice is amended or removed from the Constitution. Our reporter Dorcas Kimono looks at two presidential elections, that is of 2020, 2011 and 2016, respectively, that had Walter Lubega Mokaku and later an academician who rose in ranks to become the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor Venantius Butiama.
One obvious answer one is likely to encounter from a politician is the desire to change from a system of governance portrayed to have been in existence for a couple of years. This is the tale of Mokaku.
That we needed something new, that the people wanted their country back, that we all had to work as Ugandans to ensure that we take back the country to the people. We take back their power and we give them back their constitutional rights, freedoms, and that we set anew the country on a new path. Take it away from the path of destruction to a path of constructive path.
In 2016, Professor Venantius Butiama, an academician who rose in ranks to become the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University at a young age, quit the teaching job, opting for politics and eyeing the presidency. The decision seemed out of the blue, at least in the eyes of the public that had never heard him talk politics, and this is why.
At that time, President Museveni and Kizza Besigye had all indicated that they had not yet made up their mind. For President Museveni, he had said that he was waiting for the party to see whether they want him to run or not. Kizza Besigye had said that for him, without reforms, he won't contest. Then I felt that we shouldn't have a virtue. I felt I was able and I was ready. I said, I'm running. And once I announced, then people started coming to race. Mamba was announced next, and others.
There has never been a vacuum in Uganda's elective politics. Each election cycle attracts a sizable number of contenders than the previous. The expression of interest to contest for presidency in 2026 has broken the previous records by far. The heavy traffic witnessed at the Electoral Commission headquarters elicited public debate on the process, which some have called for its tightening to stop jokers. Barrier, as he is sometimes called among his peers, proposes an amendment of the law to create the barrier.
One of the things I think the parliament should do is to make an amendment. Like for even anybody to pick these forms that want to be presidential aspirant or candidate, they should pay maybe at least 10 million shillings. Then you'll ensure that the serious ones come. The ones who are serious, who just need publicity, don't come to this paper for government and so on.
On the other side, he defends the need for an open exercise in the view of allowing those with formidable political ideas to bring them before the electorates.
That's what I like most. So when you are presidential candidates, one of the things you should do is to be able to generate ideas. So that if you don't go through, another candidate can implement it, don't know how it's going to do. It may be then, maybe 10 years later, maybe 20 actually. They go and look back in the manifesto and they say, hey, it was this idea, why don't we implement it?
At the end of the 2015 presidential nomination exercise, a total of 8 contenders had been cleared by the Electoral Commission, including President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Dr. Kizza Besigye, and John Patrick Amama Mbabazi, among others. Attempts by the opposition to field a single candidate was among the top options on the table to give the incumbent a running nose. The move collapsed on its own weight because of political intrigue that played out at the time. None of the contenders wanted to stand down for the other. Had the contenders reached a consensus, the alliance would run under a special purpose vehicle codenamed the Democratic Alliance. It dawned on them over disagreements on who would be the candidate.
And the reality was, even to the religious leaders and even the cultural leaders, they were now captured with the thought that probably if they eased our work and they only chose one candidate. Not okay, if that on 2014 while I was mobilizing to come back again, I decided, I said, okay, I'll give way. But let's make sure that is not the panacea to our problem. But I'll give way. And we started working to get at least one candidate. Then we got the two Bachiga candidates.
Mukaku claims that the call for a single candidate marked the end of his presidential ambitions never to vie for the position. Despite losing, both Mukaku and Bariamureba claim to have gained so much from the participation in the presidential race.
I was able to campaign every part of this country. Even up to there, I know what is each part of this country, the poverty levels, the developments, the tourist attractions, the natural resources, the potential. Uganda is a gifted country.
As a former presidential candidate, the respect, the experience, the innovation, the aura, the connectedness has helped. For example, how could anyone have pulled off this people power wave in so short a time, belatedly, if it were not that?
Both politicians point out that it's an uphill task to unseat incumbent President Museveni. They point at his anticipated victory as being both structural and strategic.
And I think he's the brightest political professor. He knows politics. And he always has a script. Like he now has a script for 2031. He has already written it.
If you don't overhaul the electoral system, then you are going to bring back over and over again the same thing.
Bariamureba's political ambitions were shattered for good. He claims to hold no other interest in politics. It's the same lenses that Bariamureba uses to gauge other political players eyeing the presidency for lacking the charisma required to outperform President Museveni in the ballot.
If you got a very strong candidate in Central region like Bobby Wine, and he concentrates in Central that I'm going to campaign, you get another strong candidate like when Bessie was popular in Western, and he concentrates there to campaign in Western like the candidate. You get a strong candidate, Mafabi used to be popular, but it's not this time. In Eastern, you get another one in Northern, when Northern was still fragile, but now it's NRM, to contest there. Then you can end up having these regional candidates, like Bob Wine winning here, another candidate winning in the West, which is not possible this time, because 7. Even West now can only get votes in the West. In the East, Mafabi cannot, but in 2011 or 2016, he would have won in Eastern. You get there, you can deny President 7 winning in round 1. And then, out of panic, you can form coalitions that can lead to reforms, because you need the people to win.
Potentially, even now, we can win 200 to 300 MPs and influence them with the limited resources that they have. DF can, NUP can, UPC can. This is the one-to-one model that we said.
It's just days before the start of the official campaigns, and already the incumbent has expressed interest in being on the ballot, a similar case with other opposition contenders who he previously competed with. Only time will tell how the elections will go. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
And for the pilgrimage, Africa Mashariki East First Group CEO Dr. Ronex Kesembo Tendo has announced a pilgrimage to Butiama village, the ancestral home and burial ground for former first Tanzanian President, late Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. This is the second edition of the Twende Zetu Butiama pilgrimage, in which pilgrims and history students from East African member states, Africa and beyond will participate.
Arrangements for the second edition of the pilgrimage to Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere's ancestral home in Butiama, Mara region, Tanzania have started. This time, Africa Mashariki First Group CEO Dr. Ronex Chisembo Tendo says the pilgrims will depart from Makara University for Tanzania on Friday, September 26th.
The second edition of Twende Zetu Butiama pilgrimage safari is scheduled for the 28th and the 29th of September 2025. Pilgrims from Uganda will depart on Friday, 26th of September from Makerere University, Freedom Square, 9 a.m. in the morning. Will be flagged off by His Excellency Ambassador Major General Paul Simuli Kisesa, the Tanzanian High Commissioner to Uganda.
The pilgrimage to Butiama targets commemorating the legacy of Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, his role and contribution in promoting unity among East African community countries.
We are taking the eastern route. From Makerere University, we shall take the eastern route to Busia, the Kenya-Uganda border post. We shall proceed to Kisumu and enter Tanzania.
The second edition on the theme, espousing Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's enduring legacy and values, enhancing Jumuiya's adoption and domestication of Kiswahili language, promotes East African community integration.
So this journey ideally is intended to go have a sit-down, dialogue, take stock as we reflect on the enduring legacy of Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere.
Chisembo revealed all arrangements for the pilgrimage are underway, with the transport vehicles, ambulances and police escort cars already in place.
Say, as we talk this evening, we are 65% ready in terms of preparation. Last week, I spent the entire week in Tanzania at Mwalimu Nyerere's home, trying to set up and engage. I'm grateful to the regional commissioner of Mara, our host, boss, plus the family of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. President Museveni, when we briefed him about this initiative, he guided and directed that this should be an annual event so that young people can, as the NRM goes to Chankwanzi to retreat, we also have an opportunity to get to a neutral ground, that is Butiama.
This year's pilgrimage draws participants of all ages, race, cultures, religions and beliefs, and school-going.
Basically, as young people, to listen from the invited guests like Professor Pierre Olumumba, Bishop Maponga, who come to speak to us from a background of being Pan-Africanists.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustai rompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi akabibiona. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustai rompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi akabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN.
MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the Government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, ECOP. ECOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Nse Dr. Rosemary Nansubuga Seninde sabakunze w'ekibiina ky'NRM ntuusa okulamusa gye muli mwenna ab'emikwano okuva eri ssentebe wa NRM era pulezidenti waffe owa Uganda y'Oweekitiibwa Yoweri Kaguta Museveni mukwano gwaffe nnyo agenda okwewandiisa ku Lwokubiri ng'ennaku z'omwezi 23 omwezi ogwa Septemba okwongera okukuuma awamu n'okunyweza ebituukiddwako mu buweereza bwe. Mbasaba bannange ab'emikwano era mbakunga mwenna abaagaliza Uganda emirembe n'okugenda mu maaso okujja mu bungi ekkololo ku Lwokubiri nga 23 okumwaniriza era n'okujanjawaza okulaga essanyu olw'ebyo ebikoleddwa ebyokulya ebyokunywa bingi n'abayimbi bonna bwe wandyagadde bonna gye bali tosubwa mukwano gwange totuma yeze Dr. Rosemary Nansubuga Seninde Ssabakunzi owa NRM.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking, to the taste of food that takes you on a journey, in the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth, in the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
And in the Ranger Challenge, Kidepo Valley National Park has emerged victorious in the annual Game Ranger Challenge, securing their championship title for the 4th consecutive year. Let's hear more from Oko.
Africa Mashariki Fest presents.
Held within the sprawling landscapes of Murchison Falls National Park, the competition had 4 teams from Uganda Wildlife Authority and partners. Each team had a 22-kilogram backup raced across a 21-kilometer course from Pakuba airstrip to the Hippo Pool at the Delta. Once again, both the male and female ranger teams from Chidepo crossed the finish line first, marking an impressive fourth straight win.
We have a lot of teamwork. When one tries to fail the team, the other ones are there to push the team. That's why it is called teamwork. You have to finish as a team, not as an individual. The
international partners, including the Dutch ambassador and the British High Commissioner, were in solidarity with Uganda's rangers.
So on the tourism side, we're supporting some of the infrastructure. Some people might be aware there's the Kabalega Airport, there's a package of tourist roads, Kidkum-Kadepo Road, Bwindi-Kasoro Road. Britain's trying to do its bit to support tourism.
And the Netherlands is investing in tourism, and we really feel that the welcoming Ugandan charm needs to be everywhere. So these ladies not only make sure that animals are safe, but also that people feel welcome.
The Race for Wildlife, held by the Uganda Conservation Foundation, is to raise awareness and address challenges affecting conservation and tourism in the country.
Since they play a key role, we want to come on board and see how can we support through resource mobilization, how we can support in terms of building capacity like training, but also in continuously promoting the diversification of tourism. Government is speaking about the tenfold growth. We've seen that the strategies are through the ATMs as championed through the head, the visionary leader who is the president of Uganda.
If we want to achieve what the president wants, to triple GDP, which means the money coming in any sector, we must look after the boys and girls in the front line first. Are they respected? Are they well trained enough to look after their own rights as well as the rights of everyone they're representing and they have to manage? Are they equipped? Are they accommodated? Are they paid? Are they looked after in their welfare, and therefore their morale and their attitude is good?
Murchison Falls National Park spans over 3,500 square kilometers. It is patrolled by just 500 rangers.
Murchison Falls requires like 1,500 rangers that we can plot them and we can try to manage. And the salaries be looked into for the tough and tactical job that the rangers face.
The Uganda Wildlife Authority is seeking 50 billion shillings to recruit additional rangers and improve existing salaries.
As the Uganda Wildlife Authority, we would like to see that we increase the salaries of the rangers. We would like to see that we give them operating equipment, what they need to work, because the poachers are becoming sophisticated. They also need to be well equipped in order to be able to fight back the poachers.
Away from Kidepo National Park. Now about the girl child, there is a growing demand to increase girl child access to secondary education, although educationists say the infrastructure is very insufficient. St. Teresa, the girls' secondary school in Nyamigisa, Masindi, is celebrating 50 years since it was founded in 1975.
There is a growing demand to increase girl child access to secondary education, although educationists say the infrastructure is insufficient. St. Teresa Girls Nyamigisa in Masindi district was started in 1975 as the first girls' school in Bunyoro sub-region.
I'm requesting the parents to come on 1st October for a fundraising. We are calling you upon to be here with us because some of our buildings are in a sorry state and the classrooms we have are not enough. Dear OGs, for a fundraising, please come with whatever you have. We request you kindly with love. We are here and we expect you to come.
St. Teresa Girls Nyamigisa in Masindi district was started in 1975 as the first girls' school in Bunyoro sub-region by a historical NRM fighter.
We heartily welcome everybody to the Golden Jubilee celebration of St. Teresa Girls Secondary School. Hope to see you all on 30th September 2025 you old girls for a dinner, and on 1st October 2025 for Jubilee celebrations. The guest of honor is Right Honorable Nabanja Robina, the Prime Minister of the Government of the Republic of Uganda. The main celebrant is Right Reverend Vincent Kirabo, the Bishop of Hoima Catholic Diocese.
Head girl Ambio, Mildred and alumnus at Haire, Anna called upon well-wishers to support the school's library, laboratory and rebuilding efforts.
Viewers, right before you is where we are before you. This is St. Teresa Girls Secondary School, celebrating the patron saint, the St. Teresa Girls. We are going to celebrate 50 years of existence in excellence of nurturing girl child education. I welcome you all, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, all the members of Parliament. Welcome, you're almost welcome to home, far away from home. Our dear community members, this is home. Come, let us build our home.
For 40 years, your trust has been our most valuable investment.
We have turned your savings into investments, delivering returns that grow with you.
We are driven by innovation, defined by convenience. So wherever life takes you, your fund is right there.
Mommy, look. Because we are in the business of changing lives today and shaping tomorrow.
Join us for the 13th annual members meeting.
Happening 22nd September 2025, starting at 9 a.m. live on TV and online to discover a steadfast performance guided by accountability and built on transparency. Visit www.nssfug.org/AMM 2025 to register your attendance. NSSF, a better life.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Well, into the world of business, farmers in West Nile are gradually abandoning tobacco farming, opting for cocoa, which they say is more profitable and less labor-intensive. Marache and Terego districts, historically known for tobacco since colonial times, are leading in this shift.
Farmers say tobacco cultivation is costly and labor-heavy with limited returns, prompting many to explore alternative cash crops. Butiama, a resident of Yepi Central in Alikwa sub-county, is among those who have transitioned to cocoa farming.
It has beaten tobacco so many times already.
Since being introduced to cocoa in 2018 by former Maracha East MP James Ashidri, Butiama has harvested cocoa 3 times, selling a kilo for over 20,000 shillings.
But people were challenging me that I'm planting these things, where is the market? In the first year, I got less than 100 kilos. Then the following year, which is last year, I got 197 kilos. Now, I'm going to have over 250 kilos above. A kilo, at the first time, they start to buy at 9,000. After 1 week, we went up to 10,000. And after 1 month, I'm selling this thing 20,000 per kilo. Of now, last month, we sold it at 30,000 per kilo.
He now produces cocoa seedlings, supplying other farmers in the region.
This year, I have about 10,000 seedlings, which I have in the nursery. Only 1 month, they got finished. People are hurrying it to the seedlings. A seedling was at 1,000 shillings.
Local leaders confirm the trend. Gilbert Mawa, LC2 chairperson of Egamara Parish, says most farmers in his area have abandoned tobacco for cocoa.
The evidence is here. This man has been planting white tobacco. Now that today he has planted white cocoa. In my parish, according to the data I've been doing my parish chief, we have 135 people who have planted cocoa, and they're impressing, and all the cocoa is doing very well.
The crop has attracted interest from other districts with the recent learning tour from Arua City led by prominent cocoa farmer Benadati Ku.
We have traveled all the way from Arua to Maracha so that these farmers can see for themselves and can also be motivated and inspired to go back and grow cocoa. I established a nursery bed where I have already distributed over 5,000 seedlings.
According to Atiku, every Ugandan should embrace cocoa for its economic and environmental benefits.
In the next 5 years, West Nile will be green, you can see. West Nile will be economically empowered. You know, tobacco depleted the forest cover of this region. But cocoa is going to do the reverse.
For West Nile farmers, cocoa is emerging as the new gold. Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
Sent to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN mobile money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
And quickly into sports, about bodybuilding, Hussein Mbaja has emerged champion of the 2025 Mr. and Miss Central Region Bodybuilding Championship that was hosted at Uganda Manufacturers Association Showground in Lugogo.
Some of the country's best bodybuilders converged at Wuma Showgrounds Lugogo for the Mr. and Miss Central Region Bodybuilding Championship. It was in memory of the late Aksam Chiseka, who in this trade before his death was a master in the bantam and lightweight. More than 60 bodybuilders took part in the championship's 6 categories at this Superflex organized event.
Empaka zitambulidde ddala bulungi nnyo era nga zisaliddwa bulungi kuba abawagizi bo basobodde okukkiriza omuwanguzi w'olunaku lwaleero nti abadde Hussein Mbajja finito the Maso Museum fena tukikakasizza kuba tukirabye akikoleredde ate tatandise leero kikolerera azakikolerera emyaka mingi kulaba nti atuuka ku buwanguzi era ng'enteekateeka nnungi nnyo kakasa n'emabega abatulaba ku TV yaffe mukyasobola okulaba nti enteekateeka ebadde nnungi ddala.
Ultimately, after intense competition, middleweight Hussein Mbajja claimed his first overall title that to him was a result of hard work and worth every penny of the 5 million that he got.
Today's win at Bodybuilding Championship Central Region, I'm delighted to take this win. It's been a long journey. I had to dig deep because all guys were good as you've seen, but I had to dig deep. I've conditioned very well, I've prepped very well, I've endured all the pain that we go through through preps to see that I can bring this win, and eventually I've won. So I'm so delighted to bring this win.
The other individual category winners were Deo Angetho in the heavyweight, light heavy, Simon Chagulanyi, welterweight, Francis Semuyaba, lightweight, Abdul Misana, and bantamweight, Edward Semju. The top 3 bodybuilders in each category qualified for the Mr. Uganda Championship that comes up soon. There were exhibition moments for the masters, bikini, people with disability, and psychic.
You can imagine that is also a sport. And that brings us to the end of our news. My name is Patricia Lukoma, and Mugalu Mohammed has been with us in sign language. Let's meet again at 10 o'clock. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped.